Hello yogis, I'm David Jones. Welcome to David W. Jones Yoga. I thought today we would do kind of a gentle practice, mostly with some emphasis on some breathing. In yoga we call working with the breath pranayama. Prana being life force, life energy. Chinese call it chi. We yogis call it prana. Prana is in the air we breathe, oxygen, the food we eat. The fresher the food, the more prana in nature. I believe prana is in laughter with friends. In yoga we want to use the breath to increase our prana. So we'll be working with a variety of breath practices today as we go about a gentle yoga class. We have been doing a lot of Zoom classes lately, a lot of Zoom meetings, so we'll also be working with a little face yoga, face and eye yoga as well. What I'd like us to have, if you have a blanket, I have a Mexican blanket here that I've folded up and that I'm going to be able to roll up to make a small bolster for later in our class. Now, you could stop the video right now and go and get a big towel. If you don't have a blanket to roll up, a towel will work as well. So just pause. As well, while you're getting that towel or blanket, you might want to find something to put over your eyes. I have a lavender eye pillow here that is really comfortable to rest on the eyes. If you don't have something like this, a washcloth will do. Just a folded up washcloth would be fine. And as always, a strap or a belt is handy as well. Bathrobe belt or a yoga strap. So we're going to begin. If you could find yourself into a seated cross-legged position, something that is comfortable, preferably with the knees a little lower than the hips. I'm sitting up on a couple of blankets to get my hips up over my knees. What it mainly does, it takes a lot of the pressure off the low back. We're able to sit up a little taller and use the front of the body, of course, to support the torso. So I'm going to ring this bowl. So let's bring hands to heart in prayer position. Close our eyes and let the sound of this bowl, this bell, take your awareness inward. Begin to notice your body from the inside out. Begin to notice your breath. Track your breath as it enters your nostrils. Track it as it moves around in the back of the throat. Track it as it goes down into the lungs, as we fill the belly, then fill the chest, then get some air up into the upper chest. We'll just take a moment with our hands in prayer to get centered and grounded as we take these few moments to start with just some simple three-part breath. Maybe you have an intention that you would like to incorporate into your practice today, or a dedication if you want to dedicate your practice to someone, or simply hold someone in your heart, mind's eye throughout the class. So we'll release the hands down. So three-part breath. Belly, middle chest, top of the chest. Those are the three parts. First, we bring the air down into the belly. We then bring it up into the middle chest. And then lungs go all the way up to the collarbones. We want to get some air up into the collarbones as well. And then a long, slow exhale. So maybe breathing into the count of, say, 4, with a pause at the top before the exhale, which could be 4 or 5. And then a pause at the bottom before the next inhale. So again, maybe close your eyes and work with that three-part breath for a few breaths. Usually in yoga, we breathe in and out the nose unless we're working, And being more active, then we would breathe in the nose and out the mouth. Mouth breathing tends to keep the nervous system activated. And today we want to put the foot on the brake as opposed to the gas pedal. We want to have our class today as a means of bringing our nervous system down to baseline, to calm, to balance, to relax. While we do this 3-part breath, there is a pranayama breath called ujayi. Ujayi in English means victorious. Victorious breath, it's made by, first of all, breathing in and out the nose. We close the mouth. We put the tongue on the roof of the mouth. We breathe through the nose. We breathe in the back of the throat. And we make the airway of the throat smaller so that less air goes through it. It will lengthen the breath. It also makes a breathy sound as we inhale and exhale in the back of the throat with that smaller opening. It sounds much like the sound Darth Vader makes when he speaks and breathes. At the same time, I'm trying to get my eyes out of the rainbows. Welcome to my rainbow studio full of rainbow light. So I'll keep bringing our attention back to that ujayi breath throughout class. You could also maybe think of it as, say you were trying to fog a mirror. Like that, you would close your throat up a little bit to make that breath to fog. Well, we do that closure with the throat, but with the mouth closed. So just try that throughout class. But let's go ahead and start some movement. And we'll be doing some more breathing as we go throughout class. So let's lower the chin to the chest. Let the weight of the head lengthen the back of the neck. Begin to gently rock the head from side to side to loosen up the neck. Gradually, gently widening that movement over to each shoulder. Then come to center. Maybe lift the head up. You don't have to go too far back, but just maybe some small circles in the air with the nose. Just maybe 3 or 4 in each direction to warm up the neck. Also to give a little stretch to the front of the neck. We've completed that. Let's inhale the shoulders up to the ears, scrunch on up. Exhale, make a sound as we take them down. Inhale, bring the shoulders up again, a little higher. Big breath in. Exhale, down they go. One more time, up, higher still, scrunch on up. And then exhale, take them all the way down and let it all out. Great. Right side, gently lower the ear and lift the shoulder up any amount, maybe 1/3 of the way. Slowly lower the shoulder and lift the head. Again, right side, drop the ear. Lift the shoulder a little deeper into the contraction, hold. Then lower that right shoulder, lift the head. Now we want to finish out one more time to the right side, lowering the ear and raising the shoulder up to meet it. We go fully into the contraction and hold. And now lower that right shoulder all the way down and lift the head up and close the eyes. And notice if there's a difference in the shoulders. My right shoulder feels lower than my left. So let's head over to the other side, down with the ear, up with the shoulder, maybe 1/3 of the way. Then down with the shoulder, slowly up with the head. Again, drop the ear, raise the shoulder, say 1/3 of the way more. We hold this time. Then lower that shoulder and lift the head. One more time, last time. Let's go fully into the contraction as we lower the ear and raise the shoulder. Hold this time. Now lower that left shoulder all the way down and lift the head, and then Close the eyes and let's see if we feel a little more even. I do. Simple shoulder rolls now. Forward, up. A little squeeze of the blades together at the back and down. So exaggerated movement in the shoulders. Not only are we moving the shoulders, we're moving the shoulder blades around on the upper back. And then maybe go the other direction, squeeze at the back, move up and forward and down. And complete. Let's give the left arm a stretch across the chest. Active left hand, ease the head over to the left shoulder. We'll take a breath here. And we'll switch the other side. Give the right arm a stretch across the chest. Ease the head over to the shoulder. Take a breath. And release that right arm. Let's bring the arms out to the side. Take a breath in. Exhale. Side bend to the right. Slide that right arm out along the floor. As the left arm reaches overhead, we want to keep the left cheek on the mat if you can. Inhale, slowly, we rise on up. We switch at the top and over to the left. Both arms reach, right cheek stays down. Inhale, come on back up. Let's go back over to the right, a little deeper into the stretch. Say an inch, half an inch, maybe even quarter of an inch. Inhale, come on back up. Let's finish out to the left. See if we can go that inch or half an inch or quarter of an inch. Inhale, come on back up. Let's do a little face yoga for all that Zoom and digital looking that we're doing. So let's stretch out the face. Don't care what you look like, stretch it out and scrunch it up. Stretch it out, scrunch it up, stretch again. And scrunch. Now move your jaw around your cheeks, your eyes, loosen up everything. And then shake it out. Now let's work with the eyes. Hold on. Let's look up with the eyes. Then look down. Look to the upper right, bottom left, over to the bottom right, upper left. Straight down, to the left, upper right, bottom right, upper left, bottom left, straight to the right, over to the left, straight up, and down, straight ahead. How about 6 or 7 circles with the eyes in each direction? I can do it in one direction, but not so successful in the other, but why don't you try? I have to shake out my head again. Okay, let's move on. So another pranayama practice is called alternate nostril breath. It's really good if you are stressed out. Now, for a yogi, I'm not a very patient driver, so I'm always hurrying up to stop, and often by the time I get to a stoplight, which I don't really like being at stoplights, I'll do some alternate nostril breath, especially if I'm a little tense. I tend to rush around for no reason, although yoga slowed me down a lot. So we'll put the thumb on the right nostril, we'll close it, we'll inhale left, and then we'll close the left and exhale out the right. Back in through the right, close, exhale left, back in through the left, close out right, back in through the right, close, exhale left, back in through the left, close, exhale right. So keep going a few more times. I'm going to talk for a moment while you keep going. Notice how breathing in and out of one nostril at a time is slowing the breath down even more. Anytime we can slow down the breath, it's going to bring our nervous system down, calm it down, calm it down. So I will do this at night too, even before bed sometimes, or anytime I'm stressed. Say you're watching the news, and the news can be challenging at times, so maybe even during the news. So just 2 more rounds, and we'll try to complete with the exhale on the left-hand side. Finish out. So let's come on to our backs. Come down onto our backs with our knees bent and our feet flat on the floor. We're going to do some pelvic tilts, the feet a little wider than hip width. Arms just down by the side. We're going to do some pelvic tilts to warm up the low back. So on the inhale, just arch the low back, lift it up off the floor. Then on the exhale, press the low back to the floor, tuck or lift the tail. Slowly lower the tail back down, let it come to rest. Inhale, arch the low back again. Exhale, press it to the floor, tuck, lift the tail. Slow motion, lower the tail back down. Again, inhale, arch the low back. Exhale, press, tuck, lift the tail. Let the tail go back to neutral. Let's bring the hands behind the head and interlace the fingers. We're going to add an upper body curl to this lower back work to warm up the core a little bit. So in the inhale, arch the low back. On the exhale, press the low back to the floor, and as you tuck and lift the tail, lift the head up to look between the legs. Feel the front of the body engage. Slowly as you can, lower the tail and the head back down to the mat. Come to rest. Let everything turn off. Inhale, arch the low back. Exhale, press. As you tuck the tail, lift the head and shoulders up to look between the legs. Slowly as you can, lower the tail and the head and shoulders back down to the mat. Come to rest. Let everything turn off. One more time. Inhale, arch the low back. Exhale, press as you tuck the tail. Lift as much of the torso up to look between the legs. Lift the lower legs like you're sitting in a chair. Take a breath in. Exhale, elbows to knees. Inhale, stretch out long. Legs out long. Hands stay behind the head. Head and legs above the floor. Exhale, elbows to knees a little tighter. Then inhale, stretch out long. One more time, exhale, elbows to knees. And inhale, stretch out long, reach the arms overhead. Take a breath in. Exhale, lower the arms and legs to the mat. So we're going to imagine that someone's got your right wrist, and they're going to pull your right arm. Someone else has your right ankle. They're going to pull your right leg. So we're going to stretch out the right side of the body. Then we relax that right side, and they pull your left wrist and your left ankle and stretch out the left side. And then back to the right, stretch a little further. Back to the left, further. Back to the right, further still, half an inch more. Relax and finish to the left, half an inch more. And relax. Bend the knees again. We're going to cross the right ankle to the left knee. Take the fingertips to the right knee, right hand that is, and just press the right knee away. Let that right knee come back in. Move your fingers, your hand down to the mid-thigh, the mid-right thigh. Press the thigh away. Let the thigh come back in. Use the heel of your palm. Go way down into that right hip crease and press the thigh away to just stretch out the hip flexor muscles, to stretch out that right hip a bit. Relax that pressure. Lift the left foot up off the floor. We're going to thread the needle. Right hand goes through the space between the legs. Left arm around the outside of the legs. Hands meet either behind that left thigh. or maybe in front of the knee, depending on how flexible you are. So with the front of the body, the abdominals, and an in-breath, you want to lift the head up to the knee. Exhale, lower the tail, and then the back, down, shoulders, neck, head to the floor. Breathe here. Let's flex the feet for a couple of breaths. Now here's where we can try that ujayi breath again. Remember to try to constrict the airflow in your throat. Make the airway smaller. Breathe in the back of the throat. The mouth closed, making that breathy sound. Relax the feet. 2 more breaths. Unwind this right leg out along the floor. Pull the left knee into the chest. Now this left knee might want to ease to the side a little. You can certainly let it. We're going to do some ankle circles with that left foot, just about 5 or 6 in each direction. We've got 26 bones in each foot. That's a lot of little movable parts. So let's get them moving. Let's loosen them up. And after all those rotations, we head into a supine spinal twist. Left arm out from the shoulder, palm facing up or down. What's important is we anchor this left arm. So that means anchor it, don't move it. So right hand is on the left knee. We take this left knee across the body into a twist. Turn the head to look back over that anchored left arm and shoulder. Right hand is just gently holding that left knee. Now check the right thigh and buttocks, soften them if they're engaged. Part the teeth, relax the jaw. Relax the cheeks and the face and the eyes. Relax the hips, the shoulders. Breathe. Continue to try to work with that ujayi breath. Come out of the twist. We'll do all that on the other side. So this time left ankle to the right knee. Left fingertips to the left knee. Gently press the knee away. And let it come back in. Move your hand down to the mid left thigh and press it away. Let it come back in. Now use the heel of your palm. Go way down into that left crease, hip crease, and press the thigh away. Excuse me. Then relax that pressure. Lift the right foot up off the floor. Left hand through the space between the legs. Right hand around the outside. Hands either meet behind that right thigh or perhaps in front of the knee. With an inhale, we'll lift the head up to the right knee. We'll lower the tail. And keep it down and then lower the back down. Middle back, upper back, shoulders, shoulder blades, head to the floor. Flex both feet. Now this pose, the reason I am showing you this particular pose is really great if you've been sitting a lot at a desk, on a plane, in a car. What it's doing, it's working with the hips, the hamstrings, but a lot of it's at the low back. The muscles around our low, relax the feet for a couple more breaths. The muscles around the bones at the base of our spine tend to wind up like a spring. And this is really going to unwind those muscles at the base of our spine. So we're going to unwind that left leg. Pull the right knee into the chest. Certainly let it ease to the side if it wants to. Ankle circles with that right foot, 6 or 7 each direction. Well, I said 5 or 6 on the other side. What's a couple more? And after all those rotations with that right foot, take the right arm out from the shoulder. Again, palm up or down is fine. Take the left hand to the right knee. Take it across the body, over to as far as you can go to the left. Now turn the head and look back at that, over that anchored right arm and shoulder. Left hand is gently holding that right knee. It's not even working very hard. We want to check and look for any engaged muscles. Check that left thigh and buttock. Check the shoulders, part the teeth, relax the jaw. Breathe. Try that ujayi breath again a little more. But mainly, if you're not doing that, just try to slow everything down. Always, let's try to make the exhale longer than the inhale. That's going to help calm, soothe, bring that nervous system down to baseline. Let's come out of the twist. Straighten out the legs, straighten out the arms down by the side. 3 breaths. Let the body just melt on the floor. Now bend the knees. Knees over onto either side and gently press on up. We're going to come onto our hands and knees. Table pose. We're just going to warm up the wrists a little bit. So bring the torso, rotate the shoulders over the hands a few times. Other direction. Now turn the hands to face backwards. Now this is a pretty aggressive stretch. Of course, if you sit back, it's going to intensify it. Excuse me. You might want to try it out for a breath or two. We're not doing an active class today, so we're not going to be working much with our wrists, but just wanted to point that out to you next time you're doing a more active class. So let's widen the knees, sit back down on the ankle, or sit down on the ankles. We'll fold forward into child's pose. We want the thighs wide enough that your belly is free to breathe between them. Remember, we want to fill up the lungs from the bottom to the top. So imagine it's like putting water in a balloon, how it fills up the bottom first and then fills up the lungs. We want the lungs to expand like balloons in every direction. Now lift the head. We're going to take the left arm, thread it through under the right armpit, palm facing up. Now reach as far as you can. When you can't reach any further, anchor that left hand down. Anchor it. Imagine it's glued to the floor. So as we turn the head, we also rotate the torso a little over that left shoulder to get the stretch up the arm because the hand is anchored. We bring the shoulder blade off the middle of the back. Breathe. Then unthread that left arm. Other side, thread the right arm through under the left armpit, palm facing up. Reach as far as you can, then anchor that hand down. Now turn the head to look over that right shoulder. Sort of rotate the torso as well so we get that stretch up the arm into the shoulder. Take a breath here. Unthread that left arm, come up to table pose again. We're going to do a little cat-cow. We were doing those isolated pelvic tilts earlier in the class. This is a bigger version. So, on the in-breath, we drop the belly, lift the head, the tail. Then on the exhale, round the back, like there's a rope pulling the middle back up, tuck the chin and tail. Next in-breath, drop the belly a little deeper. And then round the back a little higher. Keep going, inviting in pliability, mobility, suppleness, elasticity into the spine. come to neutral, flat back. Let's work with the hips a little. Bring the right knee out to the side. 4 circles in the air in each direction with this right knee to warm up this right hip. Of course, we'll do the same on the other side. 4 circles in the air with this left knee in each direction. And complete. So we're going to work with the hips just a little more. Bring the right knee up to the hands. And bring that right lower leg forward, up towards the hands. Now you may not be able to move it very far forward. We're going to slide the left leg back, and we're just going to fold down over this right leg. Now this is a pretty intense stretch, but if you've been sitting a lot, it's going to feel really good. You might need, you could put your blanket or something under that hip if it's not feeling supported. And of course, if your head doesn't rest on the floor, you could use your stacked fists or your folded hands, or if you have a block, you could rest your head on your block as well. Gently, hands under the shoulders, press on up, unwind that right leg, stretch it out behind you, press up through the heel. Then bring the knee in, other side. Bring the left knee up to the hands, bring that left lower leg forward, slide that right leg back. Now move this foot as far forward as you can. Again, you may not be able to move it real far forward. It depends on your knee and your hip. If you're trying to move that forward and it's tweaking your knee, don't do it. That means your hip is not open enough to bring that foot forward. But on a side note, on a side note, the IT band, which is on the outside of this left thigh, were you to move this foot forward, then you'll get a stretch in that IT band. Excuse me, my language skills. The class must be, the class must be working. So about 3 more breaths here. And hands under the shoulders, unwind that left leg, press it out behind you, press out through the heel. And then we'll come down onto the stomach in Sphinx pose. So resting on the forearms, we'll let the head hang down between the shoulders. With an inhale, putting our awareness on the back of the neck, lift the head, press the upper arms back and stretch the heart forward. Press the fingertips into the mat, into the floor. Breathe into this little back bend. And relax. One more time, inhale, lift the head and breathe. Stretch those upper arms back, stretch the heart forward. And relax. So I know this is a gentle class, but I thought we'd do one plank just to wake up the core and just put our awareness there so we know what our core is. So come up onto the toes. You can clasp the hands together. Lift the body just a few inches up off the floor. It's not very high. You may not be able to hold it very long, but try and breathe. So we hold the position, but we don't hold the breath. And just notice what muscles you're using to hold the body up and how you have to hold the center of your body engaged to hold it up off the floor. Take a breath in here. Exhale, lower the belly. Flatten out the tops of the feet, hands under the shoulders. Keep the elbows into the sides and then press up into a full cobra. Now, only if your low back will allow it. If you're in this position and your low back is crunching or talking to you, come back down. Come up and back to child's pose anyway to counteract that back bend. We'll fold forward. Ease over onto either side. Bring the legs around front. Bring the soles of the feet together. Four bound ankle. We'll sit up tall, pull the ankles in, breath in. Exhale, gentle fold forward. Maybe let the upper arms press the knees and thighs open. Inhale, come up, straighten out the legs. Staff pose, arms down by the side. Press the hands into the mat as we point and flex the feet. Point, curl the toes, flex, try to spread the toes, point and curl and flex and spread and loosen up all those little bones and joints in the feet a little more. Now we're working with the ankles and the shin and calf muscles. Take the right leg out to the, depending on how you're on your mat, what would be the edge of your mat if your mat was long ways. We're going to grab our strap or belt or whatever you're using. We're going to put it around the ball of this right foot. We're going to sit up tall and we're going to press out through the heel, pull the toes toward the knee. Take a breath in, extend up through the crown. And then on the exhale, walk your hands down the strap to the foot. Now I can't go very deep on this side. I've got a hamstring injury, so I have to be very careful. But just walk your hands down the strap to the foot. And on every inhale, try to extend through the crown. And every exhale, try to lower the chest down to the knee and thigh. Now, I sometimes don't use a strap for this fold, so you could lose the strap. I often will just use the leg, hold the leg and use it as leverage. So holding the lower leg, inhale, move the torso towards the foot. And exhale, soften the chest down to the knee and thigh. Inhale, come up. Other side. I'll be able to go a little deeper on this side. So again, you can start out, you have a choice, strap around the foot, or if you don't have a strap, you can just fold forward and hold the leg somewhere. So I'm going to hold my leg and I'm going to use the leg as leverage on the inhale, ease the torso towards the foot. And on the exhale, soften the chest down to the knee and thigh. Gonna do that again. Inhale, ease forward. And exhale, soften down. Inhale, come up. So here's where we're going to grab our towel or our blanket to make a small bolster. So roll up your towel or your blanket, make a roll. Now, we may not know how big the roll needs to be until you lay over it. Ladies, you'll put this blanket roll where your bra strap is. Guys, that's the base of your shoulder blades. So our shoulders will hang off, but not touch the floor perhaps. Arms can be out to the side, or they could be overhead, at which you could hold the wrists to support the arms, or you could just have the arms out to the side. Now we're going to do another breath practice, another pranayama. It's called a modified viloma breath. So now we're going to work with a hold. So all of this in and out the nose, if you want, in the ujayi way, or in the nose, out the mouth. We're going to breathe in to the count of 4 or 5. Hold the breath 4, 5, or 6. And then make the exhale long, 8, 9, or perhaps even longer. So it's a comfortable inhale a comfortable hold. You can make it longer. Long is good. But then the trick is the long, slow, controlled exhale. That's what we're wanting to do, is work with control here. Feel, and again, we're working from the belly up. Fill the belly. Hold the breath. Exhale, long, slow, deep exhale. And just try to combine that with your ujayi breath. So you're still breathing through that smaller airway in the back of the throat. We're just working with the hold and the extension. Now we want to soften the back, soften the upper back, let it melt over this blanket roll. Or whatever you're laying backwards over. So this is an example of a restorative yoga pose. We're putting the body in a supported position over a prop, which in this case is this blanket bolster. And we let the body just melt. We let gravity do the work. I'm not efforting at all. And I'm going to get a good, generous back bend from this restorative back bend. Continue to work with that modified viloma breath. Now, if this becomes uncomfortable at all, you can just ease to one side and remove it. We're going to be here for a few more breaths. How about 5? Now that was 5 for me. So bend the knees, ease over to either side, and come on back up. Excuse me, let me get a little drink. And then we're going to move the blanket roll long ways down the mat. So I'm going to sit facing away from the blanket roll. I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together for a bound ankle. Now, it matters how close the blanket roll is to your low back. Now, I have a surgical fusion in my low back, so I can't have the blanket roll right up against my low back because my low back doesn't bend that way. So I have to push the blanket further up my spine. But the goal here is to lay with your spine straight up that blanket roll. You may have to adjust. Maybe your head is hanging off the end, or maybe it's supported. If it's hanging off the end, you'll get a good neck stretch. What we're going for here, well, the legs are obviously in a hip opener right now. You can straighten them out if you want. But what we're doing here is we're letting the shoulder blades relax, 1, off the blanket roll, and 2, off the spine. So we stretch out those rhomboid and trapezius muscles that sometimes can be tension spots in between the shoulder blade and the spine. So how about we work with that ujayi breath a little more. again, if any time you're in a restorative pose, because restorative poses we tend to hold longer, and even longer than I'm holding these two that we're doing here now. But if at all it becomes uncomfortable, just come out of it. We've just got about 3 or 4 more breaths to go here. We humans tend not to get a lot of air up into our upper lungs. We often breathe shallowly and sometimes even imperceptibly. We really want to, work with those 3 parts, the belly, the middle chest. Lungs go all the way up here, so let's try to get some oxygen up in to the top of our lungs. Just 2 more breaths here. Bring the knees up, ease over to either side. Remove this blanket roll out from under your back and then lay just back on your back for 3 breaths before we go any further. Just 3 breaths to let the body integrate from those 2 back bends that we just did. Now bend the knees, ease over to either side, and gently press on up. It's time for a little Shavasana to end our practice. So you could take this blanket roll we just used. You could put it under your knees. And I've got this eye pillow that I'm going to put over my eyes. Now again, you could just use a washcloth, anything to block the light. Just the arms down by the sides, palms facing up, and just let the body begin to settle. Take a couple of deeper breaths and just relax. Now we want to make a fist with the right hand and tense up the right arm. And then relax it. And again, tense up that right arm again a little tighter. Bring that tenseness all the way up to the shoulder. And then relax that right arm. Do the same thing with the left arm. Make a fist. Fire up the bicep, the shoulder, the whole arm. And then relax it. Then tense it up again. And relax it. Notice any sensations you feel in the arms. Now the right leg, flex the foot, fire up the thigh and maybe even the buttock, tense up the whole leg. And then relax the leg. Tense it up again, maybe a little tenser. Fire it up, thigh, buttock, foot, flex, and then relax the leg. Move to the left side, flex the left foot, fire up the thigh, the buttock, the whole leg. Relax the leg. Again, do that again, flex the foot, tense up the leg. And then relax the leg. Notice any sensations you feel in the legs. And we're going to bring our awareness to the right side of the body, to the right arm, to the right hand. Well, first of all, when I bring your awareness to a part of your body, I invite you to invite that part of your body to soften and to relax. So bring your attention to the right hand, relax the right hand thumb. Relax the first finger, second finger, third finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, relax the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, the upper arm. Take a deeper breath as we soften and relax the whole right shoulder. We bring that relaxation down the right side of the torso and the rib cage down to the waist. We soften and relax the muscles at the waist, the right hip, relax the right buttock and the thigh. Relax the knee and the lower leg, the right ankle. Relax the heel, the sole, and the arch of the foot. Relax the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe. Relax the little toe. Feel the right foot and leg relaxed. Feel the right hand and arm relaxed. Feel the whole right side of the body relaxed. So now we move our awareness to the left side of the body, to the left arm, to the left hand. Relax the left hand thumb. The first finger, second finger, third finger, little finger. Relax the palm of the hand, the back of the hand, the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, the upper arm. Take a deeper breath as we soften and relax the whole left shoulder. And we bring that relaxing awareness down the left side of the torso and the rib cage down to the waist. We soften and relax the muscles at the waist, the left hip and the buttock, the thigh, the knee, the lower leg. Relax the left ankle. Relax the heel, the sole, and the arch of the foot. Relax the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe. Relax the little toe. Feel the left foot and leg relaxed. Feel the left hand and arm relaxed. Feel the whole left side of the body relaxed. So feel both arms becoming heavy as they surrender their weight to gravity. Feel both legs becoming heavy as they surrender their weight to gravity. So have the arms relaxed, the legs relaxed, the hands and fingers relaxed, and the feet and the toes relaxed. So we bring our attention and our awareness to the back of the body. Excuse me, softening, relaxing the lower back, the middle back, the upper back and shoulder blades. Relax the back of the neck and the back of the head. Feel the back of the body, feel the whole body becoming heavy. Feel it surrender its weight to gravity. Feel gravity pulling, dissolving our tension. Any stress, anxiety, or worry, let it dissolve, melt out of the body and the mind into the earth, through the floor. And as that heaviness of our tension melts away, we begin to feel a little lighter. We move our awareness and our attention to the front of the body now, softening, relaxing the hips, the pelvis, the pelvic floor, the lower torso. Our internal organs are relaxed after the movement that we've done. We relax the rib cage, the rib muscles, just putting our awareness on the gentle rise and fall of the belly and the chest as we breathe. We relax all the muscles across the collarbones, perhaps softening the shoulders a little more. We relax the neck and the throat. Relax the jaw, the mouth, the lips, the tongue, the nostrils and the nose, both cheeks. Soften the ears and the muscles at the temples. Relax the eyes, the eyelids, the muscles around the eyes. Feel the eyes release their tension and sink a little deeper into the head. We relax the eyebrows, the forehead, and the scalp. So the whole body is in a deep state of peace, comfort, contentment. The mind a little quieter, the heart open, full of gratitude for this wonderful practice, and the spirit light and energized. We'll put our left hand over our heart and our right hand over our stomach. We just take a moment with our own touch to bless this magnificent masterpiece of creation that God has gifted us, that is our body. No matter whether you would like it to be a different shape, size, or look differently, it's the body we've got. Yoga's about loving this body, being in loving relationship with it, listening to it, honoring it, caring for it. Now let's wrap our arms around in a hug. Maybe tell yourself, I love you, as your body thanks you for your practice today. And then we'll relax that embrace and bend the knees and ease over to our right side. Then pause for a couple of breaths, maybe before we find our way up to sitting. So we're about done. I hope you've enjoyed our class today, focusing on a few different ways to use your breath. Now today was focused totally on the break. As I said, we weren't working with the gas pedal at all today, so hopefully you feel really calm, relaxed, maybe ready for a nap, or maybe relaxed yet energized at the same time. That's a good place to be. So we'll bring hands to heart. We'll just take a moment in the silence of wherever you are to just begin to notice how you feel. Notice if you feel any differently than when we started. And maybe find something to be grateful for. I'm grateful that you have shared this time with me. I hope it's been helpful for you. Om Shanti, peace. Namaste. Thank you all so much. See you next time.